What is up, guys? It's your boy No Risk and No Premium back with another episode of the market overview, guys. Today we got a very unusual one, two, three, four, five, six, seventh consecutive green day, which many of you are probably just screaming your head off because we basically been in a downtrend here since July, right? And now we've got this just vertical line up. And the trend might have been switching. It might have a break of structure here if we can get through this area here. And you're pulling your hair out, right? Because you keep on shorting the trend day up. So is it time for a pullback? I have no idea. The only thing I do know is there is one person that can kill all rallies. He is speaking tomorrow, right? And that is this guy right here, Federal Chair Powell. Now, these are just some opening remarks, I believe, at some sort of conference or something, but that's 15 minutes before the market opens. You can see it right here, 15 minutes before the market opens. So have a bunch of mortgage data really early in the morning, and then we have Powell 15 minutes before the market opens. So you want to be pretty much in your chair before he starts talking, and then we have data 30 minutes after the market opens, right? So a little slew of data in here, the economic optimism outlook, wholesale inventories, trade sales, etc. I want to pay attention to that data there. So 15 minutes before, 30 minutes after the market opens, respectfully, we will have some stuff to happen. All right, so onto the charts now. Onto the charts. Like I said, seventh green day. Let's go to the ES chart. We can see here, right? All we keep on doing is after we move up, flag, 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 had a long flag and up, right? And now we could see here, right? Like we've got this very nice area where let's just watch. I mean, really, it's like this. But basically now we can just see, hey, as long as we stay above this 4290 area, we're likely going to come back over to this 4420 zone, I believe. So it really just depends what happens overnight here. I have no idea what's going to happen. But watch this for the overnight session here where we've started this where we started where we started, this 4-hour candle where we dip below in the afternoon, right? We had a nice trend day up. So basically the break of this double top here and now the back test. Are we going to hold and get up here to 4420? If we're just zooming out and looking left, that's the area, right, that had some rejections in there and down. So that would be a break of structure, right? That would be downtrend over if we get above that level. I personally think that's going to be your short opportunity plus 8 green days in a row. I don't know. We have Powell tomorrow. Are we starting to get some exhaustion? It's very possible. Just looking solely at the daily candles, right? When you see these daily bars have nice big bars on them, that shows momentum, right? Then you start showing these little smaller bars, right? But this could have been just consolidation for the next move higher. So it's really anyone's guess here. We're just going to have to see how we are going to react over here at about 4420 to about 4430. I will be watching that zone. So here's your two levels for tomorrow. We either break back underneath this 4390. Okay, and then we come back down, maybe touch 4350 area, which was that previous week high from 2 weeks ago. Okay, or we get up here to 4420 to 4430. Watch how we react in there. Initially, I would like to see a recheck. I think you can get a few points off that zone, break and hold over 4430, though. Pretty much opens up 4500 again. I mean, there is so much room to the upside. You can just see here this huge fair value gap on the 4-hour chart here, taking us all the way back up to about 4,500, where I think shorts would continue to get squeezed. So don't put it past it, right? This has been impressive, but it'd be even more impressive if the bulls really squeeze the fuck out of the bears and put it right back to about 4,500. Going to be all about this 4430 zone there on ES. Onto the SPY chart now. Okay, same thing here, right? That 436 zone, that was got huge double top. We went above. We've held it here on the back test. Now do we get up and fill this little tiny bit of gap that's left, right, on this on the daily chart here? There's a little bit of gap left, right? 438.55. That's going to be the top of that gap fill. So we're going to want to watch that zone. Okay, we're going to want to watch that zone. You can see above there, we really scream back to about 444. I mean, we can really get Ripper Magoo, how are you? Above this 438.50. I call it 439 to play it safe, right? But you can see this little bit of gap that wants to possibly be filled. So we saw that we held this area. You're going to want to watch that holds overnight. It's going to be that 436, right? This double top we held, broke out, retested, and gone. So let's see if this holds overnight. If it does, and we don't go up and get that 438.50, we can watch the play around this zone. Underneath here, we can watch for the bounce back at 433. There's a gap to fill to 431. There's a gap to fill to 431. I like that zone. If not, we can watch previous week high 2 weeks ago is 425 underneath there. There's two huge gaps to fill to the downside, and every single bear out there is licking their chops, but the bulls just keep squeezing them higher. So watch 436 overnight, and 438 will be your level tomorrow. Whether we reject that, I think initially we could see a reject. If we break and hold it, buy calls and get out of the way. 444 is on deck. Levels to the downside to watch the bounces: 433, 431, 426.50. That is the SPY chart there. Now on to QQQ. We can see QQQ had massive strength right back through this 369, 370. That was what we wanted to see. That was yesterday's high of the day. Now it's no longer yesterday's high of the day, so we'll take that off. I'm just keeping it on here for you guys to see the relevancy. It is broken out of that level. Didn't even need to retest it and went up right to where? Went right back to this 374-ish zone. Right above there, I think 378 is on tap, but we'd have to see if we get through there tomorrow. Depending where we open, more than likely we open lower. Watch for the back test into 370. Watch that to hold. If it holds, great. If we open lower and we want to reject 374, watch that. But break and hold 374, the upside opens up 378, 380. Up above, if we get back under 370, I do believe we can possibly come back down and maybe see about this gap to get filled on the daily chart here. As you can see, there is a gap to get filled down to about 364 and another gap at 360s, 364, 360. Excuse me, would be my bounce zones here on IWM above 174, though, gets this party going to 374, gets this party going to 378. And last but not least, IWM almost filled its gap down. So we are going to remove this. We're going to update this for the new gap that needs to get filled. It's much smaller. Last but not least, though, 170. That's going to be my main level to watch to see if we can get that level to get filled for that complete gap fill, bounce and retest, right? And bounce. I like 170. If we can hold this 170, we can see we had prior balance in this zone for a little while. I would likely see a dip bot into this 170 right back to 176. Watching that. This balance that we broke down from came back and reclaimed. I likely see that get played out again. That would fill this gap down, but leave this gap down here all the way from 167.50 to 165. I'd like to see that get filled at some point, but not likely. If this is some huge strength, maybe this is just cooling off to come back to 176. So watch 170 tomorrow, and 176 will be your levels to play around tomorrow on IWM. And guys, that's all I got for you. As always, you got to wake up early, get your levels right, and of course, not do anything fucking stupid. We'll see you bright and early. Peace.